So you found yourself stuck in a bit of a rut, you're playing the same patterns and you feel like you're just doing the same thing over and over again, and it's getting boring and repetitive and you're just generally feeling uninspired and non-creative. If that sounds remotely like you, then listen very carefully because I have a couple tips for you. So before I try to give you some inspiration, let's just think about this for a moment and break it down. The melodies that you're playing and the riffs that you're playing are inspired from your favorite guitar players and your favorite songs that you play. Even if you believe that you have created these patterns and shapes that you're playing and you're just playing the same thing over and over, they ultimately would have come from the music that you listen to. So with that said, I think the best thing that you can do to try and break out of the same boring shapes is to listen to new music, listen to more music, maybe learn your favorite section of the song or the whole song, but not only learn it, but analyze what is being played. So break it down and try and analyze why those notes work and analyze the order that those notes are in, and that may help you find new ways to navigate around the fretboard yourself. So I definitely believe that's the #1 best thing that you can do, but let me try and give you some actual examples in this video on how you can go about breaking out of the same shapes or the same note selection that you choose. So let's first analyze exactly what your problem actually is. So are you finding that you can't navigate across the fretboard very well? Maybe you feel like you lack knowledge of the fretboard and need some new areas to discover. Or maybe you're quite happy with the knowledge that you have. You just simply feel like you're playing the same riffs over and over in different positions on the neck maybe. So in either case, I do encourage everybody to find their way around the fretboard easily. So ideally, you don't just want to know your minor pentatonic scale. It would be ideal if you knew that maybe all over the neck. That would be step #1, although it's not completely necessary to know that, because on the contrary, there's so much that you can do with just 4 notes. I mean, think about it. If we evaluate all of the techniques in existence, you have slides, hammer-ons, bends, tapping, legato, vibrato, hammer-ons, pull-offs, heaps of cool things that you can do with just a select few notes. So sometimes it's actually a good idea to trap yourself even more. So literally choose 4 notes and play around in, let's try and do this in the key of A minor. So you get the idea. There's just so many different combinations that you can kind of do with just 4 notes. So maybe then the question isn't necessarily how do you break out of the box. The question is how do you use the box to its full potential. Now generally, I imagine a lot of people watching this video feel tied to one particular shape that helps you play a particular lick. So for example, the A minor pentatonic scale that we're all familiar with is a perfect place to play this lick. And you may be able to play that 100 times over really fast, and this is the point where you're getting at, where it's just the same lick, it's kind of boring. So to combat that, I would encourage you to try and play the same lick in a different position of the A minor pentatonic scale. So for example, the A minor pentatonic scale can be played up here. If you didn't know that, then I certainly recommend you check out my practical guitar theory course, where I show you how to play the pentatonic scale across the entire neck, among many other cool things. But if we play the same lick in this position with these notes, it's actually coincidentally the same shape. Now, even though all of those notes are correct, it doesn't really highlight that A minor feel. It kind of sounds like it's in a different key. So we need to do something about that. We need to change this lick so that it sounds cool over that A minor chord. So at this point, you're forced to be a bit more creative and adapt. So let's try and create a line that sounds cool over that A minor. So there we go, that works. We've gone from So by taking the knowledge that you already have and trying to apply the same pattern, the same shape in a different position of the neck, you're forcing new creative ideas because that shape is not going to work in all of the other scale shapes across the neck. And to take it one step further, what I encourage you to do is play that lick alongside some of the other notes from that scale shape. Try to resist from going home in this familiar shape on the 5th fret here. I don't want to hear that. I'd rather you start and encourage licks based on this shape. One more thing I want to talk about is to not finish or start on the root note. So for example, if we're in the key of A minor, a lot of people will tend to start or finish on an A note because it sounds the best, it sounds the most at home. But by playing a note that's not the root note, you can also create tension, which encourages different flavors. So for example, if you finish on this note, if I play a lick and finish on that note, let's see what it sounds like. If I keep playing that note, it sounds like you want me to go back to that A note, but I'm intentionally not, because I want to keep the musicality going. Whereas if I just resolve it early on, you're kind of cutting your music too short. So there we go. If you liked today's video, then make sure you like, comment if you have any questions or any input yourself, and subscribe if you haven't already. Till next time, I will see you in the next, whoa, careful. I almost knocked my guitar off the wall. I will see you in the next video.